One of the really interesting characters in Ties That Bind is Jordan. She's this blonde female scientist that captures you at the beginning of the game.
So Jordan's sort of the X factor in the story in a lot of ways. You know, she's not exactly good, she's not exactly evil.
It's not really clear what her involvement with everything is. She has this shadowy Marbus Foundation, which is kind of a government paramilitary foundation that is collecting the creatures from Carnate and cleaning up the area.
She's a very strong-willed person, and her quest in life is to understand what these creatures are all about.
These malefactors are my life's work. And meeting someone as intimate with them as you, well, that's not something that happens to a girl every day.
Jesus, what's happening?
Depending on which path you take, good or evil, Jordan is either an adversary for you, or she helps you out along your path. But one thing's really clear, that Jordan has all the answers, and you have none of them. So, a big goal for the player will be to track down Jordan.
We have to stop meeting like this. Let me tell you, girls love a man who can take care of business.
Jordan's also connected to Blackmore in this mysterious way. He's been funding the Foundation for years, and it's sort of mysterious what he hopes to get out of it. And they don't exactly get along either, and over the course of the story, their relationship deteriorates and sort of leaves Torque trapped in the middle.
So, if you ended the first game in good mode, you found out that some sort of shadowy conspiracy killed your family. One of the questions we wanted to answer with Suffering Ties That Bind was, what is this conspiracy? Who is involved? Well, the answer has to do with this character, Blackmore.
So Blackmore is someone who's been involved in Torque's life for a number of years. Both Torque and Blackmore grew up in the same sort of inner city, tough neighborhood. They were both, very self-reliant, very strong individuals.
These are the ties that bind us. You can't cut them. You can't burn them. You can't be rid of them. You just have to live with them.
Blackmore went sort of a different route than Torque, though. He, used his intelligence and wits to build up more of a criminal enterprise, which has done quite well for him. He's now quite wealthy. But he saw Torque as another strong figure that, he could work into his plans. He could, use Torque for his own ends.
He's been one of the people pulling the strings. He's been one of the people influencing your kids, influencing your wife, part of your career, and part of the way you ended up being the person you are.
Through the second game, you'll come to learn that Torque went to prison because of a plot that Blackmore hatched to get him sent to prison to split him up from Carmen. So you're really going to be learning a lot more of what led up to that event through the story of Blackmore and how he relates to Torque.
It's not really clear at the start of Suffering Ties That Bind how Blackmore is involved in all of this. Dr. Killjoy returns from the first game and hints at Blackmore's involvement.
But what could you have done that pushed him that far?
Your boy knew how to play the game, and he showed you how it's done. Now, come on.
All you know about Blackmore is that he holds the secret of why you ended up the way you did. Depending on whether you take the good or evil path in Suffering Ties That Bind, you'll make some decisions that reveal, what Blackmore's really doing in your life. But either way, he's this character who's very smart, very quick, and not much is known about him. He's a real psychological horror component.